hung out with you guys. Hey, YouTube. Hey, Instagram. I completely lost my voice. Today is day 2 of having somewhat of a voice. So be kind to me because that's probably the longest I've talked in like over a week. So my voice is a little bit raspy. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I really wanted to jump on and do a live while my internet is good and my voice was somewhat there. I'm sure tomorrow it'll be great. But if I lose my voice halfway through, we'll have to stop this recording. I got my water beside me. Awesome. So we got Instagram over here. We got YouTube up here. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I'm going to be reading to you today. We're going to be talking about meal planning on keto. I'm going to be reading from this bad boy right here. This is my book. It came out last month. If you don't already have a copy, what the heck? If you have questions about today's content or anything, I will totally answer them. I see Medusa on Keto just posted something. So I'm just going to pin today's content and pin it there. Gargle with salt water. Oh my gosh, girl, I have tried everything. Salt water, aloe vera juice, apple cider vinegar. I've been drinking bone broth. I did a water only fast for 3 days. Everything. It is what it is. This usually happens once a year where I lose my voice, and it's a really reflective time for me. I go inward. I do a lot of good stuff, so it's actually great. I actually enjoy losing my voice. It gives me time to just like think and not talk. It's kind of nice. Okay, so if you guys, like I said, if you don't already have a copy of my cookbook, here it is right here. You guys can get more information about this book by going to ketodietbook.com. You'll see all 3 of my books on that page, and I'm going to be reading today from page 38, 39, and probably 40 and 41. Now, before we get started talking about meal planning, there was a question. I don't want to forget about it. Let's see. What are your thoughts on trace minerals? Should I use them instead of pink Himalayan salt? How often should I use them? Please tell me what your thoughts are. I don't have a lot of thoughts on trace minerals other than I personally use them. We have a reverse osmosis system on board our boat, which we live on full time. And because of the reverse osmosis, I find that I don't get enough minerals. So I just add a couple drops to my water. I don't see any problem with it personally. So that's kind of my only thought is like, why not? So I don't like to like swap out things for other things. So I'll just add it. I like adding stuff into my eating style. And we're actually going to be talking about this very thing today, about the thought of just adding instead of constantly feeling like we have to remove stuff in order to be successful. I think we have this innate drive built into us via diet culture and everything else, where we think that the only way to success is by cutting out things because we are inherently bad humans. And this is a belief that is not true. But because we have this belief, we always feel like in order to be successful, we need to cut out things to then replace it with other stuff. So instead of cutting out pink Himalayan salt, why not keep it in and add trace minerals to your water? A really simple switch. In fact, if we're really talking about things here, pink Himalayan salt isn't like the best option. I use Redmond sea salt. I enjoy that more. It has more trace minerals than pink Himalayan salt. So that's something to chew on. Okay, cool. So we're going to be talking about meal planning. Excuse me. Just a little bit hoarse. I hope my voice sounds okay, guys. I was like desperately wanting to do a live yesterday, but my voice kept cutting out so much that I just couldn't. But the day before I couldn't even talk. So look at us. And yeah, I'm drinking out of a water bottle that's plastic because I'm staying in a hotel yet again. Sue me. It happens. Okay. So meal planning, the way I see it, and I've covered this in a previous live talking about this book. The way I see it, there are 3 different ways to plan your meals on keto. The first is based on your calorie intake goals or hunger level. That's what we're going to be talking about today. There's also the second way is what you need when you need it. So if you need an Instant Pot meal, you should probably find a meal plan or design your meal plan based on the fact that you want to make an Instant Pot meal. The third one is ingredients you have on hand. So if you have a ton of chicken in the fridge, and I talked about this on Instagram this morning, actually, I think it was this morning, maybe it was yesterday. Am I losing my mind? I think it was today. I talked about it today where I have so much chicken in my freezer, and I was like, I need to go grocery shopping. And then I'm like, Leanne, remember the third way to meal plan is based on the ingredients you have on hand. So we don't need to go grocery shopping as much as we think we do. And that's only because we like bright and shiny new things, and also spending money on health stuff. It makes us feel better. But in reality, we don't necessarily need to do that. So it's about using the foods that you have on hand. Not only will this save you money, but also save you time from having to go to the grocery store and get all the things and drive there and unpack it and put it away. So today we're going to be talking about building your meals or your meal plans. Like if you're sitting down on Sunday, like, okay, what am I going to plan for this week? I need to go grocery shopping. What am I going to make for the family? Basing it on intake goals, aka calories, or hunger level. Okay, so a lot of meal plans aren't custom for you. And that is one of the struggles I've had with the meal plan in my first book, The Keto Diet, where I just had to kind of like, not guess, but just like pick a number and go for it, even though I know that all of you need, I wish you were resting and not talking, but you guys need me. It's been over a week. Even though I totally lost my train of thought. Oh boy, this is mildly sick, Leanne. I like lose my brain. Yes, even though you might need different things, a lot of meal plans will say, okay, well, today we're eating 1,800 calories, or tomorrow we're eating 2,400 calories, or the next day we're eating 1,200 calories. It's not based on what you need at any given time. So it's really important that when you're planning your meals, that if you know how many calories you should be eating, that you base your meal plan on the amount of calories you should be eating. And by should, I mean, like, if you're working out, you're probably going to need more that day. So maybe you're at 2,300 calories that day. And then the following day, maybe you feel like you're getting a little bit sick and all you want is bone broth. Well, then maybe that day you're only having 400 calories. And then you wake up the following day and you're like, oh my gosh, I ate nothing yesterday. And then all of a sudden you've had 3,500 calories. At the end of the week, it'll all equal out to about the same amount of calories. And that's what I talk about in the Keto Diet Cookbook. So on page 41, I go through different meal combinations, and I tell you that because of calorie variance, the idea that if you look at your weekly eating, say your goal is 1,200 calories a day. If you look at your weekly eating, there will be days where maybe you're at 900 calories for the day, and there'll be days that maybe you're at 1,400 calories a day. But if you average out all of those days, like you add up the 7 days, divide it by 7, you're going to be sitting around 1,200. And that calorie variance is so important, not only for your peace of mind, because your metabolism will go up and down and sideways and back and forth within the week, but also for just living your life. It's so important for your metabolism to keep it guessing, to keep you healthy, that you're always adjusting and bending and flexing. So when you're planning next week's meal, keep this in mind, that it's okay to go up and down in your calorie intake. Now, one of the concepts, and I'm not technically reading, I'm just kind of blabbering, but you can find all this starting on page 39. I'm just kind of summarizing. Something that really helps, like, did I say really? Is basing your meals off of small, medium, large, and huge portions. Now, this is something that I picked up many years ago when I was working at a weight loss clinic, and this was really helpful for our clients because portion control can be challenging for some people. I'm one of those people that I'm a volume eater. So if you put food in front of me, I will eat it until I feel fullness. I need to feel it in my belly in order to actually feel full. Now, some people don't have that problem, and I wouldn't even say it's a problem. Some people don't have that feature to their body or they can eat just a little portion and they don't need to feel full. And they're like, I've had enough. But for people that are volume eaters, not having structure around your eating can be really scary. Now, it's totally possible to be successful on keto without having those portions in control. But if that thought totally terrifies you, something like the strategy I shared in my book, the Keto Diet Cookbook, is really helpful because it structures all meals as small, medium, large, or huge. And then all you have to do at the beginning of each day or week or however you're going to do your meal planning is say, okay, well, I need 1,200 calories a day. Therefore, I am 3 mediums. Or I need 1,800 calories a day. I'm a medium, a large, and a huge. Hello from Toronto, also struggle with portion control. Yeah, so the plan that I share in this book is really, really awesome for that because it teaches you a strategy that you can use for all books across all strategies that you try in the future, and it's something you can take with you. Because a lot of books have a meal plan in there, and then you eat it, and you're like, okay, that was great, and you don't really learn anything. It's important that you take these tools with you so that you're constantly learning and constantly improving on your eating style and just the way that you, like how you know your body and what's working and what isn't. And now with this strategy that I use, this meal planning combination, I know that on average, I would say that I'm 2 larges and a small on a daily basis. So when I'm looking at my food, I know my portions quite well now with this strategy. So 2 larges and a small, it's really, really easy. That whole dang book is awesome. I'm going to make the jelly cups again. Oh, I really like that one. In fact, I also, hey Ken, hey, I also have jelly cups in my first book that are like these little cups, and they have layers of nut butter and jelly and then nut butter again. Oh, those ones are really good. Okay, water break. Okay. I'm actually so proud of my voice here that it's lasted this long. So yay, voice. Will this way of eating help the senior citizen that already has osteoporosis and the like? I would recommend you chat with their healthcare provider before you change up your eating style, especially if you're being monitored by doctors and things, just to make sure that they're on board with it. However, if one of my parents many moons from now was in care and I had a choice of putting them on a ketogenic diet with our history of dementia and all the things, yeah, I'd be doing that right quick. Okay, so with the small, medium, large, huge portions that I put together in this book, you'll be able to kind of learn, okay, I'm 2 larges and a small, or I'm 3 huges and a medium. And then you can look at other books and I show you how to portion it out properly with other recipes so that you can pick through it. And then on the following page, I give you all the small recipes, all the medium recipes, all the larges and all the hugeses. So you can look through and plan your meals properly based on the fact, like if you need them to be frozen, if you need them to be dairy-free or coconut-free or any of the other things. I mean, all the recipes in this book are dairy-free. So that was a really horrible example, but you get what I'm saying. If you're just joining us, I'm reading from my, well, I'm kind of just like blabbing from my book, The Keto Diet Cookbook. If you want to learn more, you can go to ketodietbook.com. Okay, so we've covered calorie goals. Yep. Yep. Okay, so you might be asking, how do you know if you are 2 larges and a huge or 1 small and a medium? So I've put together a little meal planning combination table. I showed you this before. Okay, so below here, see how it says 1,300 calorie goal? You're going to have a small, a medium, and a large. So there might be some days where you hit around 800 calories, and there might be some days where you hit almost 1,600 calories, but overall, you're going to average out to 1,300. So you might be asking, well, how does this work with other recipes? How will I know if I can do a small, medium, large, and a huge all in one day because of macros? Well, the key to macro balance if your doctor has told you that you need to be keto for some medical issue, then you're going to need to track both your macros, probably your overall intake, to make sure that you're on point. But if you don't, I find the easiest way to stay on point with my ketogenic diet is to know how many calories I want to eat. Now, calories, granted, it's not the best science. It's still based on energy of food. So even if calories is a bit triggering to you, I always think of like, how much energy is this food going to give me? Yeah. How much energy is this food going to give me? So do I feel like a 500 calorie meal or do I feel like a 100 calorie meal? Obviously, there's a difference. Now, if it's 100 calories of nut butter, it's probably going to make me feel different than 100 calories of kale, of course. So there's leniency within that for sure for you to make your own choices. But I think the average person on the ketogenic diet does not need to worry as much as we worry about our macros. And so to answer your question or concern about how the meal planning strategy that I'm sharing today lines up with other books and things, all you got to do is make sure that the macros are on point. Like they're around 80% fat, around 15% protein, and around 5% carbs, and it'll all work out. So the only thing you need to think about is the actual volume of food, aka the energy, also known as the calories in the food. Now, a lot of keto bloggers and nutritionists and things will disagree with my approach to calories. And I somewhat agree with that. But at the end of the day, everybody knows calories, right? And it's something many of us can never get away from because we always think about them and we're quite good at calculating it. And I thought sharing a meal planning strategy like this would be something that everyone could figure out because everyone is very, very accustomed to working with calories. And so at the end of the day, if I can teach you how to look at not just my recipes, but all keto recipes out there as fitting into your template of small, medium, large, huge, then that's going to help you like forever, ever. It doesn't even matter if you're eating keto in the future, or maybe you switch to more of a paleo thing, or maybe you're like, hey, I want to be a raw vegan. Then you can still use this strategy no matter what eating style you go for. And at the end of the day, I just want you guys to feel good, and your body will change over time, and your body will need different things at different times. And all of the tools and tips that I share with you or that other people share, that you pull into your body and you try it out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, hold it in the back of your mind, because you may find in future that you need something like that. So again, I was not really reading, but referencing this bad boy right here. You can find out more by going to ketodietbook.com. And just for hanging out with me today, if you have a cart full of Paleo Valley, no, that's not today, of perfect keto goodies, and you're like, I really want all the perfect keto things, but it's too expensive for me, you can use the coupon code cookbook20 for 20% off all perfect keto things. So that's cookbook20. Oh, so proud of my vocal cords. Yes. Okay. One Life 58. I just joined and missed the calorie issue. Do calories matter on keto? I think how much food you eat matters anytime, whether you eat too much or too little. So I think calories have been given a bad reputation. I disagree with the calorie concept in the traditional sense, but I feel like calories are a great way of showing people that have problems with portion control. I don't like the control word. That struggle with portioning out their food on keto, to like see calories as being energy, and then using that concept to look at a recipe and be like, okay, for example, per serving, this recipe is 392 calories. Okay. So that makes it a medium meal, which is a good size. Let me see if I can find another medium. This recipe too is medium size. Okay. But this recipe is small. So if you have that and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really hungry. Maybe if you have that for breakfast and you're like, okay, I'm going to try a medium tomorrow and see if I feel any better. So maybe the following day you have this for breakfast, which is a medium, and you assess, did I feel better on a medium? I did. Okay, cool. Well, then maybe for lunch you have a large. This is a large recipe. And then you're like, whew, I was too full. So the next day at lunch, you have a medium and you're like, that's pretty good. So now you know that you're a medium breakfast, medium lunch person. So then you get home after a crazy day. This is fun. It's like story time. So then you get home after a crazy day and you're like, dude, I need some food right now. And you make this. You're like, well, that wasn't enough. Now that's a small meal. So the next day, you pile on the chimichurri with pork rinds, and you're like, no, I was still hungry. So the following day, which is a large meal here, you have bacon wrapped avocado, and you're like, yep, just right. So now you know you're a medium for breakfast, a medium for lunch, and a large for dinner, right? So that helps you use recipes properly. So that's my thought on calories and using the small, medium, large, huge recommendations that I share in this book. It's a new concept that I'm sharing with you guys. It's something that I've been using personally for so long. But I've never really shared it. And when I was putting together this book, I'm like, wait a minute, I could structure this a lot differently and it would be way better. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. Like Goldilocks, just right. Exactly. Okay, I missed some questions as I was explaining things. Rachie Heinrich, I hope I said your name right. Is it German, Heinrich? Thank you so much, Leanne, for everything that you do. You have taught me so much about life and living without shame. You're incredible. Oh, that's so great. I'm so glad you're feeling good and living your best life. One thing that stuck out at me in your free download was signs that you're getting too much fat. You enjoy feeling uncomfortably full, and that's okay. That's totally me. How do I balance this out but remain keto? Okay, the best way to balance out, if you love eating until you're physically full, start adding things like iceberg lettuce. In fact, there's a great recipe. Oh, there's stains on my book. Shoot. I was cooking from it the other day. Fried cabbage wedges is good, $2.76. I'll show you a recipe that I really like. It's all about volume. So something like this, which is a small recipe, is really great. These are fried cabbage wedges. They're light in energy, but they're voluminous. So it's all about volume. Another really good one is the iceberg wedges. Small in energy, but large in volume. So if you're a volume eater, having things that are voluminous but light energy is really good, just so you feel that fullness. Because if you're overdoing it in fats, that's not helpful either. We actually don't need that much fat. And if you're a volume eater, you're probably eating too much fat. And that was my struggle when I first started. I would just like sit with a bag of walnuts, like a Costco sized bag of walnuts, and just eat until I felt physically full. And then I felt physically sick. And I'm like, what's going on? They're keto. And it's like, no, that's not the point. Okay, I seem to be so hungry these past few days and I can't stay focused. If you just started eating keto, it's probably just like the natural thing that happens when you start eating keto. You get really hungry. But if you can't stay focused, that's usually a sign, especially if you just started, that you need more electrolytes. Some people will say more fat. I don't necessarily agree with that. I like to rule out electrolyte stuff first, just because everyone has issues with electrolytes, whether you're brand new to keto or you've been eating keto for 5 years. Leanne, remember this, to take your electrolytes after this video, because I always forget. And then I feel like poo and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, I forgot my electrolytes. And it constantly happens. So Electrolytes is a good one. And then looking at the types of fat, not necessarily more fat or less fat, but the types that you're eating. You might be eating too much olive oil and avocado oil and need to bump up your MCT oil and coconut oil. Or on the flip side, you might be having too much MCT oil and coconut oil and not enough olive oil and macadamia nut oil and avocado oil. So just look at the types of oils you're eating and maybe change the ratio of it. Now we have a book in Brazil. That's awesome. I'm a small meal person for sure. I get full super fast, even with Creon. I love Creon. Isn't it like the best thing known to mankind? But I'm glad it's okay to listen to these cues. You know, it's interesting. I've been fasting a lot more just because I've been sick. And I just started eating again, I would say like 3 days ago. And after a fast, and since I've been intermittent fasting a little bit more now that my hormones are more balanced, I like can't eat as much. Like I could never do well, at least not now. I couldn't do the 1 meal a day thing because it's just, I just can't fit that much food in my belly. Like we went for lunch today and I had like one of those Whole Foods little boxes, like the little box. And I filled it full of meats and vegetables. And I got like halfway through it. And I'm like, I'm so full. And my husband was like, what's wrong with you? You used to be able to like polish off one of those large boxes. I'm like, I don't know. Since I've been fasting more, I just can't eat as much. So I'll have like 3 meals in the day that are like, I don't know, 3 hours apart or like 2.5 hours apart. So yeah, just listen to the cues and it's okay. Are you catching a cold? We are recovering from one and it was a horrible one. We thought it was allergies. So I was just kissing all over my sweet baby girl and sharing water with her. I feel so bad. That's fine. It'll strengthen her immune system. I just overcame a horrible flu, like throat thing. And then I had laryngitis for the whole weekend for like 4 days. I couldn't talk at all. I mildly got my voice back yesterday. And I really wanted to go on a live with you guys because it had been more than a week. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to go on a live. So here we are. Are all your recipes a proportioned meal? Yes. I'm so glad you asked. Every single recipe in the book is a complete meal. Like, for example, I just whizzed by one that I really like. And I didn't fight with the publisher, but I was like, no, I really want to include this. And they're like, I think it's a bad idea. And I'm like, I think it's a great idea. The super breakfast combo. I do this a lot. This is a great example of like a complete meal where I'll make like a fatty coffee drink matcha thing. And then I'll like want a fat bomb. So that to me is a complete meal. And to just give you guys new ideas, like you can get any keto book and it has like all the fatty drinks and then all the salads and all the poultry. And it's just boring to me. Like I wanted to do something different because all the other things have been done before. So yes, every recipe is a complete meal except the sauce recipes. So there are 24 sauce recipes. And they're just to like spice up your life, full of magic. So they take up this much space in the book. Okay, so it's like from page 70 to 104, there are sauce recipes just to like add spice to your life. Do you have to count macros based on weight and height? With my book, you don't need to. All of the recipes are balanced in macros. So the only thing you have to know is how many calories you have to eat. Now that's just based on the meal plans. You can do whatever you want, but if you want to follow the meal plan and do the portioning that I shared with you today, all you got to do is know how many calories you want to eat on a daily basis. Now, how many calories you want to eat actually on a weekly basis. So say your goal is 1,600 calories a day. There are going to be days where you're under that and days where you're over it on this strategy. And this is a good thing. You want that calorie variance because calorie variance will keep your metabolism stable so you won't downgrade and you won't, your metabolism won't recess or go down. And it's good for your mental health, I swear. It'll also teach you a bunch of things about your body and what you need. I'm stressed to the max. I can't shovel it in fast enough. Show the books. Okay, so this is the book that I'm referencing today. I'm all about the sauce. It makes keto even more enjoyable. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to take off because my voice is starting to do this and I don't want to totally lose it because I got things to do. But thank you so much. Oh, what kind of range variance from day to day? I wrote about that in the book. See if I can find it. Anywhere from 300 to 500 calories a day. This is the page that it's on, page 41. You guys can find out more by going to ketodietbook.com. It's in all bookstores. Go and support me. Usually the book's under 20 bucks. So great steal of a deal for this big of a book. And oh yeah, use the coupon code cookbook20 to get 20% off all perfect keto things. And I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow where I'm going to read from my upcoming book, Keto for Women, that comes out in, oh my gosh, like a month. It's so exciting. Okay, so I will see you guys later. I'm going to rest my voice. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye. Oh, see, good we ended it there. Okay, bye.